Right, we've got to make
Did I tell you why though, innit?
No.
You know why this is my side?
No.
Do you not know why this is my side?
Why is it your side?
Look at this side.
Yeah, but that's beautiful.
Yeah, but when I was boxing, right? So after I got injured, it was all that. How you doing, man? You good? Really looking forward to it. Catch up with. Yeah, same, mate. Big opportunity. Big opportunity. I spent like 2 hours watching you this morning in my bedroom, but that sounds weird, don't it? But
I wouldn't be admitting that on camera.
It's all about.
I didn't know that much words of it.
No, listen, mate. I've got to study certain things, man. I've got a question I've got to ask you. No, but I'm not going to do it on here because I want to save it. No. It's very valuable. I'll tell you after, but there's a question I want to ask you.
Do I need to turn this off?
No.
Don't forget, you'll forget it when I see you.
No. I know exactly what it is. No, because it's really. I know where you got your style from.
Okay.
I know who your boxing idol was growing up. I know who you would have studied growing up. I think. Because you box, and if it's not, I'm going to say you box very, very, very similar. And I see that. There's a rawness around you, but what I'm saying is you do the same on the outside.
Just waiting for Spencer to finish doing a siding. Yeah, hello.
Let's go.
Hello, Spencer.
Sorry, Spencer's back.
It's all right.
Yeah, so anyway, this side is like, yeah, so I was paranoid about that when I finished boxing.
Okay.
Because I had this big scar going around here, so I always done this side, so now when I go that side, it just don't feel right. Do you know what I'm saying?
Fair enough, it's what you used to.
When you sleep in bed, you've got a favourite side of the bed, didn't you? I sleep on the left side. Yeah.
But anyway, it's always a pleasure.
Yeah, how you doing?
It's Spencer Oliver.
Sorry about that.
No, it doesn't.
You can cut that first bit out, can't you?
No, you're cutting it out. I can't. I don't do that. Unless you want me to cut it out.
Stay to you.
Never mind all that.
Yes.
Talk to me. All right then, first of all, I'll tell you what we'll do. Welcome back to the channel, as always.
Yes.
But I'd like to first of all say to you, I listened to the conversation that you had with Anthony Joshua. I watched it on TalkSport yesterday, and that was the most comfortable I've ever seen him, ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a good relationship with Joshua, so I get those interviews from him. That was the idea of TalkSport wanting me to do it, because I get the answers that other people don't. Because I get the real Anthony Joshua, the guy that sort of relaxes, you know, and opens up a little bit more. And if that interview, by the way, was allowed to go longer, because we only had a certain amount of time, I would have got some gold as well, man. It was just, you know, he was just getting into it, just warming up. I saw your comments actually, so thank you for that on Twitter. I was following them about lots of stuff, but I did see your comments about that interview itself. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Well,
you can get that, by the way, on TalkSport Boxing YouTube channel. So there you go.
Yeah, now that you've plugged the channel. But the thing is, I'll always be a boxing fan first. I like boxing. So I'd listen to the conversations that people are going to have when you can get the most out of people. And one of the key points that I've picked up on, and I really hope that he's going to back what he says, is he's moved away from that people-pleasing attitude. He's now all about, okay, I'm just going to do what I want.
He recognises that, you know, that's what he has to do, because otherwise I can't get over the public perception of Anthony Joshua. I'm going to be honest here, right? And it fucking blows my mind where I go, so I knew Joshua before he even started boxing. I knew him when he walked into Finchley ABC. He was trained by my dad and by my uncle. That's where it all started. And we knew the issues that he had. He had Asbo against him in Watford. He wasn't allowed out in Watford. He was always in trouble with the police. His cousin Benalimi brought him down to the gym as something to do. He had no interest in boxing. And then he found out, actually, I'm really good at it. You know, after a year of being in the gym, he was ABA champion. After 2 years of being in the gym, he was a world silver medalist. After 3 years of being in the gym, he was an Olympic gold medalist. After 4 years, he turned pro. I'm going, fuck me, that is unbelievable. Then he goes and wins a world title. Then he loses the world title. Then he wins it back again, so he's a two-time world champion. And he don't gain the respect from the public. All the public do is hammer him all the time. And so I think he's felt that as well. And he said, listen, I've got to block all that out. And that's why he doesn't like doing a lot of media. And that's why when he does interviews, he sort of like, he doesn't like doing them, because he goes like, he probably feels that he doesn't get the respect. You saw that thing that I took a lot of shit for when we was in Saudi and Joshua had that breakdown, he had that meltdown, and I talked to him a little bit about that in the interview where he threw the belts out the ring and all that, and I recognised what all that was about, and he was like, listen, you don't know, I'm just a kid that's come from nothing and got this, and like, he does so much for charity around our local areas, you know what I mean? He helps out amateur boxing gyms, whatnot, doesn't tell anybody about that, doesn't get the respect that he should get for that and all that. And I'm going, fucking hell, he gives back to the community. And he inspired so many kids when he went into that 2012 Olympics and he won that gold medal. Kids from all over, he give kids hope. He give kids hope because they're going, wow, look at this geezer's journey from an 18-year-old into where he is now. He's 32, and like, look at what he's earned, what he's achieved, and what he's done, and you know, like how many kids he's inspired, how many kids' lives he's changed. You got to think about all that. You go, Anthony Joshua is like, yes, he's a two-time world heavyweight champion, but he's also a brand, and he's a guy that people look up to and follow because of the journey he's been on. And I just don't think he gets enough credit for it.
Why do you think he doesn't get credit for it? What do you think it is about the public, the boxing fans that sometimes it can be quite harsh on him? Why do you think that is?
I really don't know, if I'm honest. It's like, it's a tough one, isn't it? It's really tough because, it seems like, boxing fans are like, when you're up and you're doing well, everyone loves you, and when you lose, you're shit. And you know what I mean? You're finished and you're done and all that. And I just think that, I think that's just maybe a lot of people look at it that way, maybe. I mean, I really don't know why, like the rise and the fall of the Anthony Joshua journey. I don't know, rise and the fall is probably the wrong word. Like, just the rise of Anthony Joshua, and like, everyone loved him. He was like, he could not do anything wrong. Everything he'd done turned to gold. And now it seems that he's battling for that recognition and for that legacy and stuff. And I just go, really? I think it's already cemented, and there's still other chapters to this as well, because he's been totally written off, and I love the underdog. Now he's gone from being, the king, the daddy of the boxing world, to being totally written off. So I'm backing him to become three-time world heavyweight champion because I love the underdog, and I think that has reinstalled the fire in Joshua's belly. And I know that by the trainer that he's chosen, Derek James, who installs aggression into fighters. That's his way. That's what he likes. And that's the missing piece with Joshua. Like, psychologically, is he damaged? Probably yes. And he needs to install that confidence, that rawness that he once had that took him to the world heavyweight title. And I think that that's important.
Do you think part of that, one for a better word, the psychological impression that boxing's had on him is to do with his losses, or maybe a bit of both, the public pressure that he's had that's come with it? Like you said, he was someone that was constantly seeking approval. When does that switch kick on, that he has to support himself? He's got to be his own fan. He's got to put himself above everybody else and stop feeding off that attention or that appreciation.
Well, that's pretty much what he was talking about. Do you know how much pressure that is? A kid that comes from a fucking council estate that is just a normal kid living a normal life, and actually not a very good life. Drinking, smoking, doing things he shouldn't be doing. Going from that to being catapulted to a global superstar. Joshua's told me himself, do you know how fucking difficult that is? No, the money that he's earning, like, look, having to control the money, the brands that are sponsoring you, this and that, like, the perception, the public perception of you and what you got to give them back. That's fucking difficult, man. Like, it's really difficult. He was catapulted into that very, very quick. So I think he's just at the stage of his life now where he's going, let me think about me for a moment and not worry about everyone else and not worry about everything. Let me think about my career and try and carve out my own legacy. So mentally he's in a really good place right now. But psychological damage is hard to overcome. Very hard to overcome. And I'm talking about physical side of this, like, the defeats to Andy Ruiz, the defeat to Andy Ruiz, the two defeats to Alexander Usyk. Like, Joshua, and I said this in that interview as well, I said, do you feel that you need to rediscover that rawness, that took you, and that air of vulnerability that people loved about you, but you took the fight to him? Climbed off the floor against Klitschko and then took him out, like, do you know what I mean? Like, not that hesitant, like holding back, just because that's like trying to box on the outside. You've done all that now. Strip it back, mate. And that's why he's out there training in Dallas with Derek James. I don't know if you've seen it. He's chopping trees and fucking chopping logs and doing old school Rocky shit because he's trying to rediscover himself and he's trying to get that rawness back, I think. And I think we're going to see some of that against Jermaine Franklin.
We talk about that mental battle and feeling like he's not quite good enough. And one of the things that he mentioned in your conversation is that he's going back to basics.
Yeah.
Do you think because of this kind of like trajectory, a fast trajectory that he's been on, that he's kind of like missed out on some of that, and he feels like he's at a point of like rediscovery, kind of like do or die mentality?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. Definitely there's an element of that to it. 100%, you know? But I think that's healthy. I think he's in a healthy place right now. So, yeah, looking forward to it. I've just recognised that I'm going to have to be on stage in about 2 minutes because I've got to go and interview a couple of fighters. I've got to get my head on the game. Please forgive me. Please forgive me.
Are you going to come back after?
Absolutely.
'Cause obviously, we've got to talk about the cards. We ain't even spoke about the cards.
Yeah, I'll come back, talk about the card, yeah?
I'm going to have to chase him. Spencer Oliver. Why the hell do I look paler than you? What the fucking hell?
Saudi.
Excuse me, I said I wouldn't swear.
I've been to Saudi.
Oh,
And I'm going to Spain. It's my birthday on Monday.
happy birthday for Monday. And I'll see you in a bit.
48.
We're very close in age.
Really?
Yeah. Behave.
I'm just taking my journey.
Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.